Hello and welcome back. This is episode 15 of my Chicago White Sox rebuild series. We are in the middle of the 2029 playoffs, and we have just, spoilers for the last episode, uh, beaten the Los Angeles Angels 3-2 in the division series, and now face the Blue Jays in the ALCS to decide who is going to go to the World Series. Where the winner will face either the Rockies or the Cubs. The Cubs currently have a 1-0 lead in that series. Um, let's talk about our lineups real quick. Two slight changes. I've gone to 13 pitchers for the 7 game series just because I want that extra flexibility, especially if, Noah Schultz blew up in his last outing. I'll want to have a deep uh, bullpen in case something like that happens again. And also because I'm bringing in Eric Miller with the last spot. You'll see once we get to Toronto, they have a lot of lefties in their lineup, and so I want another lefty arm coming out of the pen. Currently, we only have two, and I'd like a third just for a potential high leverage situation. Now, Eric Miller has only pitched 9 innings for us at the beginning of the season and was rehabbing towards the end of the season down in AAA, but should be a good arm. The 35 control is concerning, but he was good in his limited time at the big league level, so we'll give him a shot here. The other option would have been Shane Smith, but I think given his track record throughout the season, I wasn't really looking to do that, or bringing up someone like Takoa Roby to get his first big league action in the playoffs. Didn't really want to do that either. I mean, I guess he's had some time with St. Louis back in 2027, but my other options were not super enticing here. Max Bayless with his first big league action, maybe. Um, so, all that to say, Eric Miller is in, and Billy Carlson is out of the playoff roster. He was basically only being used as a defensive sub anyway, and we can have Celestin play shortstop if needed. So I'm not super concerned about losing him. And I want to keep Aiden Smith here as a backup outfielder and maybe pinch runner. He would be, my number one choice as a pinch runner if needed. The bat has struggled so far in the playoffs. You can see the postseason stats here. Obviously, Chase DeLauder with a 209 OPS plus is leading the way for us. Antonacci doing well as well. Nolan Shanuel has been doing well in limited time in the playoffs. Missed one start in there, but we did change our left-handed lineup, and I'm going to keep it like this. Lantigua, despite having a sub 100 OPS plus overall, is hitting well against lefties. I guess he's only at 90 against lefties, but that's still better than a good chunk of the team. So he will continue to start there. If he struggles, we could look to put in Aiden Smith there again for defensive purposes, but I think we're going to stick with this lineup for now. And then our right-handed lineup hasn't changed with our usuals in there. I think this is our lineup for most of the regular season as well. So let's get into it here. We are facing the Blue Jays, 87 and 75. Offense is around average, maybe a little below average. Pitching, starters were below average. Bullpen was above average. And that kind of reflects what we see here too. Dylan Cease leads the way with a 4.28 ERA, and Mackenzie Gore, sub 4 ERA, started 34 games for them, 3.1 WAR. He's probably their most threatening pitcher, I would say. Robbie Snelling, WAR is not super impressive, but the ERA is under 4, so he should put up good innings for them. And then Tatsuya Imai, has been a bit up and down this season, I'd say. They have Trey Yasevich, who started 32 games for them. I'm questioning why he's coming out of the pen instead of Imai, but it's possible they'll decide to switch that up at some point. I don't know. I guess Imai has done well in the playoffs so far across 3 innings pitched. So, and Uceda is their closer. He looks good. He's got an ERA right around 3. Jason Foley, Landon Ropp, Sir Anthony Dominguez, former White Sox, who we traded away in the Luis Matos trade, which ultimately didn't end up panning out. I don't know if I ever mentioned on camera that I waived him and then he got claimed off of waivers and really hasn't done much of note since then. So in case you were curious what happened to Luis Matos, that would be it. And then beyond Dominguez, who put up a 4.62 ERA, it's kind of a collection of guys that aren't super impressive or threatening. So, they definitely a top-heavy bullpen, but those are the guys that you rely on ultimately in the playoffs. So we'll see. I think the strategy to beat them will be to, try to do your damage against the starters, because the bullpen will come in and provide better, like from the 7th on. If you're losing, odds are not great. So we want to get out to an early lead. Kind of the opposite of the Angels series, where we wanted to just force our way to their bullpen as quickly as possible. Here we want to, limit or try to get out to an early lead, so that when those bullpen guys come in, if we're not winning, it doesn't, or if we're not able to score against them, it doesn't necessarily hurt us there. Anyway, ultimately, we just need to score more runs than the opposing team. That's what it comes down to. Alejandro Kirk led their team in WAR. He's probably their most threatening hitter. Addison Barger, 3 WAR season, good season for him. He can play all over the place. He is playing right field for them, it looks like, for the most part. Dalton Varsho, very good defender out in center field, but OPS plus is close to 100, so need to look out for him. RJ Schreck, 2.3 WAR on the season, solid hitter. Luke's 2.2 WAR, again, solid hitter. You'll notice out of their top producers here, 4 out of the 5 are lefties, but their big names, Vlad Jr. and Kirk, are both righties. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Let's get into this series here. Class A, interestingly, they waived and put and DFA'd, even though he's got an OPS plus over 100 on the season. And he's done well at AAA. I mean, I could have claimed him, but I don't like claiming guys off of waivers during the playoffs. Even though teams are waiving guys during the playoffs, I don't know. That's one of my house rule things of I don't do that, even if it's someone that would normally be worth claiming, where Class A would maybe fit that bill, but he's not getting claimed by me. So yeah, let's get into game one against Toronto. All right, it is game one time here. At least in the head-to-head matchups, we do appear to have the advantage. We would also, it gives us the advantage against Cease, even though they're both 3-star pitchers, which is interesting. I mean, I would give Dolander the edge, but, you know, Cease is still a pitcher to watch out for. And yeah, they've got a lineup that definitely Kirk and Guerrero Jr. are their two big bats to watch out for. I think this shows their average throughout the season and not their average in the playoffs. So I'll have to see who's been hot, who hasn't. But yeah, this is our right-handed lineup to go against Cease. We are at right field. We have home field advantage throughout the series, so games 1 and 2 will be with at our home field in right field, and then 6 and 7 if necessary. So yeah, let's get into it. Game number 1. Dolander deals to Jimenez. The White Sox going with the all-black uniforms today at home. And Jimenez out for the first out in the inning. JoJo Parker strikes out, the rookie. Vlad Jr. hits that one into left field, and it will get down for a base hit. So Vlad Jr. on, and Barger will come up next. And he pops up, and that should be playable for Montgomery. And that is the inning. So it looks like, curiously, Okamoto has been their hottest hitter in the playoffs, hitting .417. No one else over 300 so far in any of their playoff games. Let's see how we do against Cease as we ground out to start the inning. DeLauder will strike out. And Amador strikes out. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays, and Dolander will face Kirk next. He hits that one high, but not very deep, as Luis Robert Jr. jogs in and makes the catch. RJ Schreck strikes out on a full count. Dolander faces the hot Okamoto, who walks. So the inning will continue here with Nathan Lukes up to bat. And little grounder to Amador, and that is the inning. So far still 0-0. Let's see if Shanuel can get aboard here, and he can. Draws a leadoff walk. Colson Montgomery will bat next, and that is a deep grounder from the outfield. Parker does throw him out there. No time to get the runner at second, though. So Marte will bat with Shanuel at second base. And that is hit to center field, but playable for Varsho. So Kyle Teal will bat with 2 outs. And that goes into right field for a base hit. Let's see if they send the runner. They do. Shanuel goes for home, and he's tagged out. I think that's a good send there with 2 outs. Test the arm, and it ultimately didn't pay off. But I think that's, an aggressive send, but a good one. As Varsho lines out to left field, and back to the top of the order we go. Jimenez pops up to Luis Robert Jr. and JoJo Parker. grounder up the middle, and that is an out for Amador. And now Luis Robert Jr. will face Dylan Cease, and he will strike out against Dylan Cease. Antonacci walks, and Antonacci definitely a threat to steal, or that, as the ball gets away from the catcher Kirk, and that allows Antonacci to go to second base. So Young, now with a runner in scoring position, strikes out. DeLauder facing Cease draws a walk, so 2 on and 2 outs for Amador, who is 0 for 1 today. He draws a 4-pitch walk, so the inning will continue. Bases loaded now for Shanuel, and he strikes out. So no runs score, but Cease is already into the 60s in pitches, so definitely something to keep an eye on. Guerrero. Oh, Dollander is injured and has to come out of the ball game. Okay, that's not great. Back spasms. We could go to Ryan Johnson here, but ideally we save him for another game. Let's go to Peterson here, I guess. With a man on and nobody out, that ball is hit right to Luis Robert Jr. for out number 1. And strikes out Kirk. And now Shrek. It's that one into right field. Will Marte get to it in time? No, it's off the wall. He does get it off the hop, and the lead runner is held at third, so Okamoto I think first base is open. Okamoto's been hot. Do we pitch to him or do we go for Luke's? I'm going to make the decision to pitch to him as he pops up to Marte for out number 3. Okay, so no run score, and Cease at 67 pitches here in the 4th. Montgomery grounds that into center field for a base hit. Let's see if we can do some damage here to Cease as Marte comes up with a man on and nobody out. Tries to bunt. And he strikes out. Kyle Teal draws a 4-pitch walk. So 2 on and 1 out here as Luis Robert Jr. will step in. He puts that on the ground. They go to second for 1. Will they turn the double play? They will. So that is the inning. Man, Liam Peterson will face Lukes here. Little grounder to Amador. He throws over to first, but not in time as Lukes legs out an infield hit. Varsho hits that right to the first baseman, but dropped. And so Varsho, with his speed, does make it to first base successfully. Jimenez, whoa! Shanuel with super speed catches the pop-up bunt. So JoJo Parker will bat here with 2 on and 1 out. That is put into play, into the gap in the right center field, and that will score some runs, I think, as that's extra bases. He's going for third. Maybe a poor choice there. So he got a double and an out, but it is 2-0. Blue Jays. as Vlad Jr. will bat next. And he will strike out. So Liam Peterson gives up 2, and that is the lead now, 2-0, as Dylan Cease will come back out to pitch the bottom of the 5th. And he will hit Sam Antonacci. Jace Young will now bat with a man on. Strike 3 called, and Chase DeLauder. Can we do some damage to Cease? As Antonacci steals a base and gets himself into scoring position. DeLauder. 3-1 pitch hit high, but not very deep, as Varsho catches that for out number 2. Amador. Ball gets away from the catcher Kirk, and that allows Antonacci to go to 3rd. Let's see if Amador can capitalize here, as Cease is at 96 pitches. You have to imagine this will be his last batter. And he strikes out Amador to end the inning. Okay, so 2-0 here. Peterson at 43 pitches. Yeah, let's go to the bullpen here, as Peterson has not been particularly effective anyway. We've got 2 lefties up in the inning. Let's pitch. Let's go to Jose Ferrer. Strikes out Barger to start the inning. Alejandro Kirk draws a walk, and Shrek steps in. He strikes out, and Okamoto now strikes out. So Ferrer, nice job dealing there. Cease is still in at 97 pitches. Let's see if Shanuel can make him pay for that decision. And he walks to lead off the inning. I have to imagine that'll be it for Cease, and it is. Okay. Emmett Sheehan comes in now to face Colson Montgomery. We need some runs here. Montgomery strikes out. Marte is 0 for 2 today. He puts that ball into play. That could be 2, as they throw to second, they throw over to first, and that is the inning-ending double play. Oh, man. Okay. Ferrer will face Lukes. Will strike out Lukes. He will face Varsho. He will strike out Varsho. And he will face Jimenez. And that's put into play, deep, but playable for Luis Robert Jr. So, 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. As Kyle Teal will face Emmett Sheehan here. He is 1 for 1 today, but strikes out here. Luis Robert Jr. Bats have been very quiet today, as he pops up to the left fielder, Lukes, and Antonacci. Can he do some damage? He cannot, and he's struck out. So, Ferrer still looking good. Let's have him pitch to JoJo Parker. A little grounder to Amador, who takes care of that. Vlad Jr. we will bring in. Let's bring in Raisel Iglesias to face Vlad Jr. here. As that's hit hard, but right at Amador for out number 2. And Addison Barger. Grounder to first base, and that is playable for Shanuel. So, Edwin Uceta, the closer, comes in to try to get the 6-out save. Let's see how we do against him here. and he strikes out Jez Young. So Chase DeLauder pops it up into foul territory. Will that reach the seats? No. Barger will catch it in foul territory. And Amador with 2 outs here hits that one well to center field, but playable for Varsho. And that is the 8th inning. We're down to our final 3 outs as Raisel Iglesias will face Kirk. He will strike him out. Shrek flies out to Marte in right field, and Okamoto. Little grounder to Colson Montgomery, who throws over to first, and Shanuel picks it and gets him out. So we've got Shanuel, we've got Montgomery, we've got Marte. Only 2 hits for us this game. Do we look to pinch hit maybe? I don't know. I figure we got to get something going here. As Shanuel hits that one deep to left field, but playable for Luke's. Colson Montgomery has one of our hits today. We will let him bat. And he will strike out. Marte is 0 for 3. We're going to try to kickstart something here. And who has played well in the postseason? Lantigua? Yeah, I mean, that'll be the move. Lantigua will come in to pinch hit. When down to our last out. And he strikes out. So the Blue Jays shut us out 2-0. Yeah, just a not a bad performance by any means from our pitching staff. Peterson gave up 2 runs, but they were 2 unearned runs. And coming in place of the injured Chase Dollander, who was shutting them out up to that point. Ferrer and Iglesias didn't allow any hits or any runs. Just 1 walk given up, 5 strikeouts for Ferrer. Yeah, I mean, this is more on the offense. You can't really win when you only have 2 hits in the entire game. Rough game for our offense. I mean, Cease is a tough pitcher, but we've got to be able to do damage against him, and we just didn't get it done. So we are down in the series 1-0 to start. Okay, let's get into game number 2 here. Yeah, disappointing loss in game 1, but we need to just try and bounce back. And yeah, it's going to be tough going against Mackenzie Gore, who's been, I would say, arguably their best pitcher this season. 3.1 WAR, sub-4 ERA. Performed well against Houston in his last start, but we have the bats to make this happen. We have Ryan Johnson on the mound, who also performed well in his last start. So, yeah, we're gonna go for it. I mean, can't get discouraged just because we're down 1 game. It's a 7-game series, and yeah, we'll see how things will go as we get into game number 2. I definitely don't want to go to Toronto down 2-0, so I would say want to win tonight. I mean, all the games are want to win, but especially tonight as Jimenez drops that in for a hit into left field. Tries to steal, but Fortes guns him down. So, runner erased as JoJo Parker puts that into center field, but playable for Luis Robert Jr. And Vlad Jr. comes up and strikes out. So, no damage there. Mackenzie Gore on the mound for the Blue Jays. First in wins in the AL. for what that's worth. Lantigua pops up and catchable for Vlad Jr. Luis Robert Jr. strikes out. And Marte, who struggled in this series so far, puts that on the ground and playable for Okamoto. So 1-2-3 inning for us there. Barger puts that deep into left field and just barely finds the seats. 350 feet, just fair, just gone, but that is enough to get them a 1-0 lead. And Kirk puts that one into center field, but Luis Robert Jr. hauls it in near the track. So a lot of deep balls given up by Johnson so far, and Shrek walks. And Okamoto grounds to third, but that allows Shrek to get to second. Let's see if we can get Luke's out without any more damage done. And that's popped up. That looks playable for our right fielder, Lantigua. And he catches it, and we are down 1-0. We need some offense to get going here. And Chase DeLauder puts that into center field, but Varsho jogs in and gets under it. Jace Young, maybe he will be the one to kickstart us here. Looks like no. 2 down with Fortes standing in. And that's into left field, but caught by Luke's. So that is another 1-2-3 inning. We need to get the bats going. And that is out number 1. Jimenez puts that on the ground. Shoveled to Johnson, but he drops it. Oh, man. So Jimenez is on again with JoJo Parker bunting. The runner takes off. No chance of the out at second, so we do get the out at first. Curious decision to bunt him over, but I guess Vlad Jr. is up, so yeah, we will pitch to Vlad Jr. with a man at second, and that is out number 3. So yeah, reaches on an error and ultimately doesn't matter. Nolan Shanuel grounds to Jimenez, out number 1. Adele Amador hits that one deep to center field, over the head of Varsho. So finally we have some offense going here as Amador gets to second on a double. That is our first hit of the day. Antonacci, can he knock Amador in? That is into right field for a base hit. Amador did get hung up there seeing if Barger was going to catch that or not. So he holds at third. Lantigua strikes out. It's out number 2. So Luis Robert Jr. now with a chance. But that's playable for the shortstop, Parker. And despite getting 2 on, we do not score. It's still 1-2-0. And Johnson walks Barger to bring up Kirk with a man on. And that's a slow grounder to third, slow enough that they just get the out at first base. And Barger goes to second, so Shrek will bat with a man on and 1 out. And easy play for Antonacci there. As Okamoto now bats with a man on. And that's deep to right field. That could be trouble. And it is. It's gone. So 3-0 now, Blue Jays. As Lukes will step in to bat. Nice snag by Amador to end the inning, but another home run gives them the lead. I mean, they had the lead, but it's 3-0 now. Marte flies out to left. Chase DeLauder strikes out. And Jace Young walks. So, Fortes will come up here with a man on. He will walk. Okay, so the inning will continue. Tying run comes to the plate if Shanuel can get one out to the outfield. He does get that into center field for a base hit. I think that should be good for a run. As they try to get the out at home. That allows the runners to advance. So second and third, 2 outs for Amador. We are finally on the board. It's 3-1. Let's see if Amador can get some more in. Little bloop in front of the plate, and that's playable for Gore. So we do score 1, but that is it. As Johnson will face Varsho here. And that is through for a base hit into center field. Johnson facing Jimenez. Strikes him out. JoJo Parker. Pickoff throw. Oh, they got him in a rundown. And Varsho is out. So 2 outs now facing JoJo Parker, who walks. And Ryan Johnson will face Vlad Jr. here. And that's into left field, but playable for DeLauder. So that is the inning. And Gore will step in to face Antonacci. And Antonacci leads off with a walk. Lantigua will face Gore now. As Antonacci goes, and he is in safely. So Antonacci taking second. Let's see if Lantigua can drive him in. There's a little fly into right field. I don't think that'll score the runner, as Antonacci held up to make sure that ball dropped in successfully. So Luis Robert Jr. now with 2 on and nobody out hits that into the gap in left center field. That scores at least 1. Lantigua runs into third, so still first and third. Still nobody out for Marte. Gore now at 87 pitches. Marte strikes out. Gore getting tired at 93. Let's see if DeLauder can make him pay. He walks. And they bring in Sir Anthony Dominguez to face Jace Young. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-2. This is our best scoring opportunity of the night. It's that one on the ground towards first. They go for the out at home, and they do get Lantigua. So, no run score, but bases are still loaded here for Nick Fortes. And I think in a situation like this, we pinch hit for Fortes here. Kyle Teal will come up to bat. With the bases loaded and 2 outs. He pops it up. That looks playable for Varsho as he ends the inning. So we do bring it a little closer, but it's still 3-2 Toronto, as Teal will stay in to play catcher. Johnson will start pitching to Barger. I think we'll see if they get any hits here. As Johnson's at 83 pitches. And that is hit right to Marte. And Johnson, let's see if he can get Shrek here. Little grounder in front of the plate and throw over to first for out number 3. So that'll be it for Johnson today. But yeah, we are into the bullpen, and he hits that one into left or right field. Shanuel does for a base hit. Do we pinch run for Shanuel here in the 6th? I don't think we do. He's fast enough. Well, he's not fast, but yeah, I still don't think we pinch run for him as Amador swings and misses for strike 3. Antonacci hits that on the ground, playable for out at first. Shanuel does advance to second, and Lantigua will bat now with 2 outs and a man at second base. He hits that to center field. Varsho with a slow jog gets under it and pulls it down. So Johnson's day is done. We will go to, well, do we want Okamoto to face a righty and then bring in a lefty? Yeah, let's do that, actually. Johnson will stay in to face Okamoto. And he will strike him out. So now we bring in the lefty. Farrer is slightly tired, so let's go with Brendan Little here. To face Lukes, Varsho, Jimenez, and Parker. And Lukes walks, so Varsho will bat with a man on. Varsho will walk, so 2 base runners here. Jimenez puts that into play. That could be a double play. No, it is a weak ground ball. And Parker will bat with 2 on and 2 outs. He will strike out. So still 3-2. As Ryan Helsley comes in to face Luis Robert Jr., Marte is due up, and then DeLauder. Grounder down the third base line, and that's dug out by the first baseman, Vlad Jr. Marte is 0 for 3 today. I think we look to make another move here as, yeah. Montgomery will bat for Marte. It's a whole lot of lefties in a row, but I don't really care at this point. They have a righty in the game. And Montgomery grounds out for out number 2. DeLauder strikes out. So trying to pull whatever levers we can pull to get some offense going. Montgomery will stay in to play third. And we've got Vlad Jr., Barger, and Kirk up, so we want our best righty, and that'll be Rysel Iglesias here in a non-save situation. Try to keep this a 1-run game as Montgomery throws out Vlad Jr. at first. Barger puts that into right field, but playable for Lantigua. And Kirk pops it up, and that's playable for Luis Robert Jr. So Edwin Uceta comes in to try and get the 8-out save again. Now, he did pitch 27 pitches yesterday, so let's see if we can get to him here. He's going to be slightly tired. Not going to have as much gas as yesterday. But we do pop up the first pitch. And so that's out number 1. Kyle Teal works a full count and strikes out. Shanuel hits that one deep to right field, and it's gone. Tie ball game. Nolan Shanuel. But just like that, we have new life. It's 3-3. Uceda gives up the jack. Let's see if Amador can answer now as well. And he pops it up, but we are tied going to the 9th. And with a tie ball game, Iglesias only at 14 pitches. I will leave him in. It's a little grounder over to the second baseman. And Shrek is out. Okamoto will face Iglesias here. And strike out. Alright, and now Iglesias getting tired. I mean, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to go to the lefty Miller here to face the 4 lefties they have in a row. Eric Miller coming in a high leverage situation. Anthony Santander is going to pinch hit to face him. And he induces the grounder to Montgomery, and that's the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. We've got Antonacci, Lantigua, and Luis Robert Jr. set to bat. Antonacci 1 for 2 today. He will bat for himself. Little grounder in front of the mound, and Uceta throws over to first for out number 1. Lantigua is 1 for 4 today. I will let him bat for himself. He puts that into play, but that looks like it's playable for Vlad Jr. to Uceta covering. And Luis Robert Jr., 1 for 4 today. Do we pinch hit for him here? I don't necessarily want to lose his defense. I think we leave him in to hit for himself. And he does not come through, as that is the out. Gavin Lux now in the game playing left field for them. Varsho will step in to face Eric Miller. I'd say if Miller gets into trouble, then we'll go to either Grant Taylor or Ryan Walker, who are both still available out of the pen. I think this will be his last batter, though. It's JoJo Parker, at the last in the string of lefties that they have up. Does hit it down the line for a base hit, and that goes for 2. So Parker is in with a stand-up double, and Vlad Jr. is up to bat. Just making sure that Vlad doesn't have like weird reverse splits or something. He does not. We will bring in Ryan Walker to face the heart of their order here. And Vlad Jr. walks. That's fine. First base was open. Barger hits that, but playable for Montgomery. That's out number 3. Nice job by Walker getting out of it here. So we head to the bottom of the 10th. Landon Ropp into the game, facing a string of lefties. I question why they didn't go with a left-hander out of the bullpen, but you know, they may not have one. They have Robbie Snelling, who's a starting pitcher, so their entire bullpen is right-handed arms. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so really stacking all those lefties in a row does not hurt us that much, as we've got, I think, our best offensive lineup in that we're going to get, as that goes into right field for a base hit. Colson Montgomery. Is the winning run at first with one out. I think we pinch run here. We throw the lever to pinch run Aiden Smith here in the 10th with DeLauder up to bat. DeLauder squares to bunt. I do not want you to bunt, DeLauder. And he's not going to bunt with 2 strikes now, so... Oh, that could be 2, as they throw over to second for 1, and they throw over to first for 2. Unfortunate there. Okay, so Jace Young will face Rob, and he will walk. So I could pinch run for Young. I don't think I will, though, given that we're going to need Celestin to come in and play third. So the slowest steal attempt of all time, as Young gets himself thrown out at second base. Brutal. Okay, so Aiden Smith, I think will stay in to play right, and we will bring in Celestin to play second, and slide Antonacci over to third, I think is the play. Okay. And Ryan Walker will stay in to face Kirk. This is his inning, I think. As that is into left field for a base hit. So leadoff batter is on for the Blue Jays. Shrek will step in to bat next. And he gets hit. Okay, so Walker a little wild here to start. He will face Okamoto. We do still have Ferrer, who's slightly tired. I think after Okamoto, we will go to him as the pop-up to center field. And Ryan Walker has been a little wild so far today. We'll bring in Ferrer to face the lefty Lux as they pinch it for him again, and it's Brian De La Cruz. And he strikes out. And Varsho, batting next, strikes out with 2 men on. Okay. Let's see if Kyle Teal can end it here with 1 swing. No, he strikes out. Shanuel hitting 400 in the series so far. And that will go up as he hits that into center field. So the winning run is now on base for us here in the 11th. Amador. Slow bouncer to second. That does advance the runner, but now 2 outs here in the game. In the 11th, Antonacci, 1 for 3 today. Let's see if he can get it done. They intentionally walk him to set up the out at any base, and so Celestin will come up. Only his 3rd at-bat in the playoffs. Let's see if he can be the hero here. He hits that into center field. That's a base hit. They send the runner, throw home. He saves Celestin with the walk-off single. That is 4-3. That is your ball game. Final in 11. What a game. That's the way to do it right there. The home run in the 8th by Shanuel to tie things up, and then just battling back, not giving up. Emptying the bullpen. Bullpen was excellent. Did not give up a run across multiple innings. Only gave up 2 hits total. Just excellent job all around. And despite an excellent performance from Gore, we win that game, and we get to their bullpen just enough to squeak by them there. As you know, Uceta coming back out to try to get the 6-out save after pitching the day before. I wonder if that decision maybe came back to bite them a bit here, as we emptied the entire bench in our attempt to win. Celestin came in as a defensive replacement and ended up being the hero with the walk-off single. Love to see that. Yeah, that's just baseball. And that is the tying game of the series, as we are now heading into game 3 tied 1-1. All right, time for game 3 in Toronto. After the thriller that was game 2, 11 innings, we came out on top. Here's hoping that this one is a bit less exciting, I'd say. Yeah, but in our favor. We've got Christopher Sanchez on the mound. He's been excellent so far in the playoffs. And yeah, we hope that he continues to be excellent here, as we will be facing Robbie Snelling with our left-handed lineup. That means Lantigua's starting, Marte at third, Young at DH, Shanuel at first, and Fortes at catcher. So let's see how things go here. And we are at Toronto, so we will be batting first. Let's get into it. Lantigua will lead things off here. And he will strike out to lead off the game. Luis Robert Jr. also strikes out. Marte puts that into left field deep, and Lukes catches it before it goes out. So 1-2-3 inning. Let's see if Sanchez can do the same here. Pops him up for out number 1. Shrek puts that into play, but Sanchez throws over to first, no problem. Vlad Jr. hits that into left field, but playable for DeLauder. So that's a 1-2-3 inning, and DeLauder will now bat. And strike out. Young puts that into play, but playable for the first baseman, Guerrero. Fortes watches strike 3 go by him, so it's another 1-2-3 inning. Okamoto strikes out. Cotton candy. Barger strikes out. Kirk does not strike out, but that should be playable for Fortes. And that's another 1-2-3 inning, so not much offense going on here early on. as Shanuel puts that into play, but Jimenez throws over for out number 1. Amador, that hangs up enough for Lukes to catch it. I thought that might drop in. Antonacci hits one into the gap. That does drop in. And that'll be extra bases for Antonacci. And he has a stand-up double. Nope, a head-first slide. Okay. He has a double. Lantigua will bat. And that is hit high, but not far as Lukes pulls it down. So we do get our first hit of the game at least, but still nothing here in the third. Little grounder to Montgomery. No, Marte at third. Varsho puts that into play and playable for Antonacci. Jojo Parker hits that decently well into right field, but playable for Lantigua. So that is another 1-2-3 inning. And Luis Robert Jr. strikes out. Marte hits that, but right to Parker. DeLauder gets hit. So we do have a man on here with 2 outs. Runner goes, but Young pops it up, and that's playable for Parker. So that is the inning. Sanchez will face Jimenez here. And Jimenez will strike out. Shrek puts that into play deep into right field. I can't see what happened, but I assumed Lantigua got it. Okay. Vlad Jr. hits off the mound, and Amador has to eat it. That is an infield single, first hit for the Blue Jays. Okamoto with a little dribbler to the third base side, and Marte throws over for out number 3. So no issues there. We head to the 5th. Snelling at 71 pitches. As we do get a base hit to lead off the inning. Shanuel hits that well, but not picked up by the second baseman. That gives him an infield hit. So this is our best scoring opportunity of the day here with 2 on and nobody out. And Amador at the plate. He strikes out. Antonacci, can he come through? He puts one up the middle. They toss over to second for 1 and toss over to first. And that is a double play to end the inning. Man, just no offense here today. As Barger strikes out. Sanchez still only at 55 pitches. As Kirk hits that one deep to left field and into the seats. So Kirk breaks the scoreless tie. It's 1-0 here. As Lukes hits that one to Luis Robert Jr. And Varsho hits that one high and playable for Antonacci. So the solo home run breaks the tie. It is 1-0 Blue Jays. Let's see if we can get to Snelling here. As that's hit well, but playable for Varsho. And they do take out Snelling, so Barrios comes into the game. Let's see if we can get to the Jays bullpen, as that one's hit deep to left field. And just like that, immediately after the starter goes out, Luis Robert Jr. capitalizes. It is 1-1. Marte strikes out. DeLauder pops up to end the inning. But we do tie the game. It is 1-1. Sanchez still only at 65 pitches. He will start the 6th. And that's out number 1. Jimenez pops up for out number 2. And Shrek hits that one fairly well, but not deep enough as Lantigua pulls that down. So Barrios will face Jace Young. And that's put into right field for a base hit. Let's see if we can break this tie here as Fortes comes up to bat. Looks to bunt. I really need to adjust my strategy settings because I don't want you bunting there. That could be a double play, possibly. No, they don't get Young at second, so that was a crazy camera angle. Hard to tell what was going on. Amador will bat with 2 outs. And he hits that well. Will they get past Varsho? No. So, still 1-1. Still Sanchez here in the 7th. Is that his hit well down the line, but playable for Marte, out number 1. Sanchez facing Okamoto. And that's hit deep, but playable for Luis Robert Jr. And Barger will face Sanchez here, as that's hit well into left field, but playable for DeLauder. So Sanchez still doing well. Uceta comes in. They still want him to do the 8-out save, or I guess keep it tied. And Uceta induces the fly ball to Lukes. Lantigua hits that down at the third base line, playable for Okamoto. And Luis Robert Jr. strikes out. So still 1-1. And Sanchez will start the 8th here at 86 pitches. This might be his last batter, though, with a bunch of lefties up next. So that's a little dribbler down the line, and that is out number 1. They do pinch hit Santander. And let's see. He's actually worse against lefties, so we will leave Sanchez in to pitch to him, which might be a mistake, but no, it's not, as that is strike number 3. Let's see if Sanchez can finish the inning here. Oh, he hits Varsho. Okay. Varsho is potentially hurt, but no. Okay, so De La Cruz comes in, and he is not particularly good against lefties, so we'll bring in the left-handed pitcher, Brandon Little, to face De La Cruz here. As Sanchez's day is done, excellent performance from him. Solo home run, the only offense they really got going the entire game. So, curious. Okay, so Uceta comes out. Landon Ropp is in to face Marte here in the 9th. As Marte hits one into left field for a base hit, so the winning run is on. Marte is good on the base pass, so I will not pinch run. DeLauder hits a little dribbler in front of the mound. They go for the out at second, and that's a fielder's choice, so DeLauder now on with Young at the plate. That looks like it could be 2 as they turn 1 and they turn 2. Okay. Still 1-1. And Little will face Jimenez and Shrek here to start the inning. Little grounder in front of the plate, and that's out number 1. Shrek pops it up. And Vlad Jr. comes up to bat, and that will be my cue to bring in, let's put in Grant Taylor here. As he pops him up. So this one will also be heading to extras as we are still tied 1-1. Fortes up the middle. Out by half a step. I maybe should have pinch hit for Fortes there, but that's alright. Shanuel puts that into right field, but caught by Barger. And Amador 0 for 3 today. Do I look to make a switch? With 2 outs, no. I'm gonna let Amador bat. And that's put into left field for a base hit. Okay, so Amador rewards my faith in him, and Antonacci is 1 for 3 today, so I will let him bat for himself as that ball gets away. And now Amador's in scoring position here. So can Antonacci capitalize? That's hit right to Guerrero for out number 3. Okay, so it is still tied 1-1 as Okamoto will come up to bat. He hits that fairly well, but playable for DeLauder. Barger takes a walk. Kirk with the home run here in the game. Hits that to Amador for 1 and to first. Kirk is retired for a double play, 6-4-3. Okay, Lantigua is 0 for 4 today. He should be pinch hit. And against the right-handed Rop, we will go with Colson Montgomery. Come on down. And he works a leadoff walk. All right. So Colson Montgomery is on. Ryan Helsley will come in to pitch, and we will pinch hit for Luis Robert Jr. With Kyle Teal. And Aiden Smith will pinch run for Montgomery. Strikeout for Teal. Marte is 1 for 4 today. As that is hit well into left center field for a base hit. So the winning run is now, or go-ahead run is now at second for DeLauder. He's 0 for 3 today, but we will let him bat for himself. And he puts that deep into right center field, and it is caught by Varsho The runner does not tag. And Jace Young will bat here. And that's into right field for a base hit. That should score the run as the speedy Smith. No, they hold him at third. Oh my god. Okay, so base is loaded with Fortes up to bat. He's 1 for 4 today, but we're going to pinch hit him for Celestin. Was the hero in the last game, but not the hero here as he strikes out. You gotta send him with 2 outs. Oh man, that's frustrating. Okay, so Teal will stay in to play catcher. Smith will stay in to play center field. And we need a shortstop where Celestin will play. Well, no, we don't need a shortstop. We need a second baseman. Antonacci slides over to third. Ooh, that's right. We had DeLauder playing third. Interesting. Oh, right. DeLauder, Marte can shift to right field, and then we'll have Amador at short. Okay, that works. Grant Taylor's still only at 16 pitches, so he will start the 11th. As that's hit to left field for out number 1. Farshow hits that one high, but not very deep as Marte hauls it in. And Gavin Lux pinch hitting here. Puts that into play, but playable for Antonacci. So that is the inning, and we are officially out of pinch hitters. So okay, we do work a leadoff walk here as Jason Foley comes in. Amador lays down the bunt. All right, in that situation, I don't mind the bunt. With Amador not hitting particularly well today. So we got 2 opportunities to get Shanuel in, and Antonacci will be walked intentionally to set up the double play. And with Aiden Smith, the plate, who is 0 for 6 in the playoffs so far. Can he come through? No, he strikes out. Kyle Teal puts that into right field for a base hit. Let's see if they send Shanuel here. They do, and he scores. Antonacci tries to go to third and is out on the play, but we do take the lead 2-1 as Taylor, at 31 pitches, we will go to the closer, Ryan Walker, here to face the top of their order. As there's a little dribbler to Amador for out number 1. And that is a 3-1 pitch hit right to Celestin for out number 2. Vlad Jr. is their last hope. And that's down the line. Long throw for Antonacci, but that is the game as we win it in 12. Very nice. Very nice job from our team here. The Bats had a lot of trouble getting going, but they managed to score when it counted. 2 runs off of 10 hits. Lots of guys stranded in today's game. But yeah, excellent job by our pitching staff today. Sanchez went 7 2/3, only gave up 1 earned run, which was a solo shot by Kirk. 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. And then the bullpen came in and absolutely shut it down. No hits allowed, just one walk across. Let's see, that's 4 1/3 innings of work. Excellent job from them. Christopher Sanchez is your player of the game. I think deservedly so. Yeah, and we got the hits when it mattered, and we are now up 2-1 in the series. All right, so 2 extra inning games in a row and 2 victories for us. Yeah, let's see if the bats can get going here against Tetsuya Imai, who's been, I think, their worst starting pitcher, at least by ERA. We should hopefully be able to get to him, and they will likely not have Usaita available today, and Landon Ropp may be available, but after that 12-inning game, both bullpens a little taxed. We have pretty much everyone available besides Taylor, except in emergency, and Iglesias still tired after pitching in 2 consecutive games. So Walker only threw 10 pitches yesterday, so he should be good to go. Ferrer is good to go. Yeah, let's get into game number 4, as we hope to take a commanding series lead here, with Schultz on the mound, who struggled in his last time out, allowing 4 runs, 1 earned, but their lineup is very lefty heavy, so hopefully Schultz can get it done against them here today, as Young will lead things off against Tetsuya Imai. Strike 3 to lead things off. DeLauder. It's that one high and not deep, so Varsho puts that down. Amador hits that to left center field, but playable for Lukes. So that's 3 up, 3 down, as Schultz will step in to face Jimenez, their leadoff hitter. And that is put into left field for a base hit, so leadoff man is on for the Blue Jays. As Jimenez goes, throw is slow getting there, and that will be a stolen base for Jimenez. So Shrek will bat next. Strike 3. Let's see if we can get out of things here as Vlad Jr. walks. So Schultz already in trouble here early on as he faces Okamoto. They go for the steal at third, and he's out. That's a interesting play there, as Okamoto hits it right to Shanuel. So side is retired. Schultz get out of the first without any damage, and Shanuel works a leadoff walk. So Montgomery will bat, and he will put that into the outfield for the base hit. So 2 on, nobody out for Marte here. Marte shows bunt and bounces it foul. 3-2 pitch, up the middle for a base hit, and that should score a run as they go for the play at home, but Shanuel with the hook slide, the relay misses the target. So 1-0 here, and we have second and third still with nobody out, and Kyle Teal at the plate. And that ball is, I think, popped up and playable for Kirk. Kind of took a weird path there, as Luis Robert Jr. will now bat. And he pops it up. Well, fly ball to left field. Will the runner tag? No. Okay, so no tag for Montgomery there. Antonacci. It hits Antonacci. Okay, so bases are loaded now for Chase Young. 2 outs. he strikes out. Jace Young has struggled a bit in these playoffs too, I would say. OPS only 625. Yeah, well below his Severson average. Barger hits that down the line for a base hit, so Schultz allows the leadoff man to get on again. So Kirk will bat with a man on here. And that is to deep left field and gone. So Schultz allows the home run, and it is 2-1 Blue Jays now. Strike out for Schultz there. Let's see if he can get his head back in the game. 2 consecutive strikeouts. Let's see if he can make it 3. He can. Okay, so after allowing the home run, he strikes out the next 3 batters. That's encouraging. We want him to go deep into this game if possible. So DeLauder walks to lead off the inning. Amador hits the 3-1 pitch into center field, and that's over Varsho's head. That'll be extra bases. And DeLauder coming home to score? No, they do hold him at third. So second and third, nobody out for Shanuel, who is hitting 400 in the playoffs so far. Little bloop in front of the mound, and that is out number 1. Colson Montgomery hits that high to right field. Barger pulls it in. That's deep enough for DeLauder to tag and score, and so this game is tied back up at 2. And that ball does not find the outfield, and Okamoto throws over to first for out number 3. But we do tie things back up. It is 2-2. Schultz to face the top of the order. Jimenez strikes out. So Schultz finally starting to settle in here, it looks like, as he struck out the last 5 batters consecutively. 6 strikeouts total in the game. And he walks Vlad Jr. So Okamoto will bat next. And he hits that one high and deep into left field, and that one will find the seats. Just like that, it's a 4-2 game now. Barger. And Schultz throws over to first, and he's fine. Okay. So Kyle Teal now, we are down 4-2 as Teal hits that one high but not very deep to right field, as that's playable for Barger. Luis Robert Jr. strikes out, and Antonacci strikes out. So Schultz will start the 4th inning. See if he can get Kirk here. He strikes him out. Okay. And Lukes flies out to left field. Varsho to first, and Shanuel makes the grab. So still 4-2. Jace Young up to bat. Strikes out. 3rd strikeout this game. Okay, Young is having a rough day. DeLauder hits that into right field for a base hit. Okay, so we do have a man on here as Amador will come up to the plate. That could be 2 as they throw to second for 1 and throw over to first for the double play, ending the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 5th, and Parker, Jimenez, Shrek due up for them. as Parker hits that one to left field for out number 1. Jimenez pops that one up for out number 2. And Shrek. I think this will be Schultz's last batter regardless. And Shrek works a walk. So Schultz at 88 pitches and Vlad Jr. up with a man on. I think we go to the pen. And it will be with 2 outs. Iglesias will come in. As Iglesias allows a hit to Vlad Jr., so the inning will continue. And Okamoto up next. Hits that one into shallow right field, but hangs up enough where Marte grabs it. So we do get out of the inning without any runs scored, and Shanuel will bat against Imai, who's at 97 pitches. You have to imagine his day is almost done. Strikes out Shanuel. 102 for Imai, and they're leaving him in to face Montgomery, who hits that to left field, and it does drop in for a base hit, so now they take him out, and Trey Yasevich will come in to face Marte. As that is popped up to left field, Lukes pulls it down for out number 2. Kyle Teal. Now would be a great time for a home run. Or a single. We'll take that, as that finds the outfield. And runner Montgomery will move up to third base. So let's see if Luis Robert Jr. can capitalize. He's 0 for 2 so far in this game, but we will not pinch hit for him, as that hangs up enough for Barger to make the catch. So no runs there. Iglesias, I think I'll leave him in to face Barger and Kirk. Ooh, as Barger hits that down the line for extra bases. And Iglesias will face Kirk here, as Kirk hits that high but not deep. And that is DeLauder for out number 1. Okay, so now Iglesias will come out, and I think it's Ferrer's time to come in and face the 5 consecutive lefties that they have in their lineup here. As that's down the line and tossed to Ferrer for out number 2. Varsho puts that into play, but Antonacci scoops it up and fires to first for out number 3. So no runs scored as we head to the 7th. Antonacci up the middle, throw over to first. That's out number 1. Jace Young. Really struggling. I think I want to pinch hit for him, but maybe not. I mean, he's been good throughout the playoffs. He was 2 for 5 yesterday. Let's leave him in and see what he can do against Yasevich. And he rewards my faith in him with a base hit to right field. Okay, so tying run comes to the plate in the form of Chase DeLauder, and we know he's capable of hitting it out. But a single will work just fine as well. as that is now the tying run standing at first base, the go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Adael Amador to face Yasevich. And that will find the outfield for a base hit. That should score a run, I imagine. Now they do hold Young. So Shanuel with the bases loaded and 1 out here facing Yasevich. Hits that one shallow. They do get the out at first, and they do get the double play. Man, so they get the out at home and then at first for the double play there. That's rough. Ferrer strikes out Jojo Parker. Jimenez is hit. And Shrek, as the runner goes, and the runner is out. Shrek pops it up. And that is Antonacci for out number 3. So Landon Ropp does come in to face Montgomery here. As that is hit to shallow right field and drops in for a base hit. Marte is 1 for 3 today. Strikes out here. Kyle Teal is 1 for 3 today. Puts that into right field, and that drops in for a base hit. So, Luis Robert Jr., he has not had a hit today. I think we need runs. We've got to score. And Celestin has been our best hitter against righties. So he will pinch hit for Luis Robert Jr. here, facing Landon Ropp. And he works a 4-pitch walk. So Antonacci will now step in with the bases loaded and 1 out. He's 0 for 2 today, but he will bat for himself. As that's hit high. Not very deep, but Luke's is off target, so we do tag and score. It's 4-3 now. Jace Young would love a hit here against Landon Ropp, who is tired, and that carries into left center field, but not far enough as Luke's pulls it in. So it's now 4-3, and we need a center fielder. So I think we'll leave Celestin in to play second. And Aiden Smith will come in to play center field. And we will also sub out pitchers. In a non-save situation, I think we bring in Herrera. To face Vlad Jr. here. Ooh, as that is into right field for a base hit. Okamoto. It's that one high, but not deep, as that's Smith hauling it in. Barger puts that into center field for a base hit. All right. Facing Kirk. Strikes him out. Okay, I think we want the lefty Brendan Little in to face Luke's here. See if they pinch hit here. They do not. And that is through for a base hit. That could be insurance runs for the Blue Jays. The throw is offline, and it's 5-3 now. Varsho hits that into right field, and it finds the corner for a base hit, so things falling apart here. As it's now 7-3. And we do finally induce the pop-up to end the inning, but our chances of winning have gone down dramatically as we are needing 4 runs now to tie it. And that is out number 1. Amador hits it to Barger for out number 2. And Shanuel gets hit. So the inning will continue, the game will continue. Colson Montgomery is 3 for 3 today, but he will now be 3 for 4 as that is the last out. That is the ball game. Toronto ties up the series at 2, and for once it's our bullpen that lets us down. I mean, we were already losing, but yeah, it's tough when Herrera and Little came in and gave up 3 runs. Yeah, trying to avoid using our high leverage guys in a situation where we were already behind, and yeah. I guess ultimately we didn't score, so it didn't matter necessarily, but not encouraging. The bats were encouraging as we had 11 hits in this game, but only scored 3 runs off of it. So, yeah, hopefully that will continue into our next game. But, yeah, we'll have to see how things go. We'll have to see if maybe we need to make some lineup adjustments, but I feel like for the most part, like, I don't know. I don't really feel like Smith or Celestin are going to be really all that effective offensively. So, yeah, we're kind of, this is who we've got. So, we're still tied in the series 2-2. It's a 7-game series. Yeah, let's see if we can take the lead going back to Chicago. All right, we are into game 5 here. A bit of a disappointing loss in the last one, but, you know, today's a new day. And we've got Chase Dollander on the mound. He was doing quite well before he got hurt in game number 1 of this series. So let's hope that he can continue that in today's performance. Dylan Cease also did quite well against us in his last time out. So, you know, we would expect a pitcher's duel here today. Lineups are the same. Yeah, let's do this. Game number 5. Jay's going with the red uniforms here. Interesting choice. As Young flies out to lead things off. DeLauder to left field, and that hangs up enough for Luke's for out number 2. Amador hits that to the gap, and that will find the wall in right center field. So Amador slides in with a double with 2 outs. Let's see if we can capitalize here. Shanuel pops up. Well, actually, that's more than a pop-up. That is deep center field, but Varsho makes a nice running catch to rob him of a hit. So Dolander facing Jimenez here. Hit right in front of the plate, but should be playable. But Jimenez, with his speed, picks up an infield hit. So Parker will bat next, and he will pop it up. Montgomery pulls it down for out number 1. Runner goes. Teal with a nice throw, and Jimenez caught stealing. So just like that, 2 outs in the inning. And Vlad Jr. strikes out. So Montgomery steps in to face Cease. And that is put into play, but playable for Varsho. We've been hitting the ball well, but just haven't been able to find the gaps here. As that one also looks like it's well hit, but right to Luke's Kyle Teal. That is through for a base hit. So another 2-out hit here, and Luis Robert Jr. will step in. And that will drop in for a base hit. So first and second and 2 outs for Sam Antonacci here. Right in front of the plate, can Antonacci leg out a single? Looks like no. They do throw to first in time to get him. So that's the inning, and we will head to the second, bottom of the second, as Barger hits that one deep to right field, but playable for Marte. Kirk finds the outfield for the base hit. That is their first of the game. Sorry, their second of the game. And that is up enough for DeLauder to pull it down. Okamoto pops up, and that looks playable for Antonacci here in shallow center field. So Young will step back in to face Dylan Cease here. He will walk to lead off the inning. So first walk of the day for Cease. Let's see if we can take advantage of that as DeLauder bunts. It's a good one. So Young is now in scoring position for Amador here. And Amador with the grounder to Jimenez. Young does advance to third, but we now have 2 outs in the inning with Shanuel at the plate. And that hangs up enough for Varsho to grab it for out number 3. So I don't love DeLauder bunting there when we know he's capable of hitting the ball for power. Varsho sneaks one through for a base hit. Jimenez pops up, and out number 2. Jojo Parker, runner goes, but that should be out number 3. So Montgomery stepping back in to face Cease. Striking out. Marte hits that into left field, but playable for Luke's. Teal hits that into right field for a base hit. It looks like extra bases as well, as Teal should get in with a stand-up double. So Teal now standing at second base with Luis Robert Jr. at the plate. and he pops it up. And Kirk grabs that one. So Dolander will face Vlad Jr. And Vlad finds the outfield for a base hit. Barger puts that into right field, but playable for Marte. And Dolander walks Kirk, so 2 on and 1 out for RJ Shrek. And that's hit deep to left field and over the head of DeLauder, and that will score a run. They do hold Kirk at third. RBI double. Okamoto at the plate. I think we walk him here to set up the double play. All right, so Luke's will bat here with bases loaded and 1 out. And that is into foul territory. Runner tags and does score. So it's 2-0 Blue Jays now. Varsho down the line, but playable for Shanuel. So we do get out of it, but they go up 2-0 as Cease still only at 53 pitches. And dealing here as he strikes out Antonacci. Young hits that well into the gap, but playable for Varsho. A lot of good contacts, just not much of it falling for us here. Although that falls in for a base hit as DeLauder's thinking 2, and he does slide in with a double. I think all of our offense, or just about all of our offense, has come with 2 outs here as Amador walks. So Cease in a bit of trouble here in the 5th. Let's see if we can make him pay with Shanuel at the plate. And he gets that into right field, but right at Barger for out number 3. Dolander, top of the order for the Blue Jays, as that is caught by DeLauder. Jojo Parker pops up, and that's out number 2. Vlad Jr. strikes out for out number 3. All right, we need some offense against Cease here. Little dribbler to the first base side, and Guerrero shovels it to Cease, and Marte will bat next. It's that into center field, but playable for Varsho. And Kyle Teal, 2 for 2 today. And he walks, so that's Cease's 3rd walk of the game. He's at 86 pitches. Let's see if Luis Robert Jr. can make him pay. Slow grounder up the middle, but that's playable for Jimenez for out number 3. Dolander will come out to start the 6th. He's at 80 pitches. As Barger hits one through for a base hit. Kirk is 1 for 1, and with a man on, I think that will be the day for Dolander here. Dolander. The question is who to go with here, as yeah, we've actually have quite a few, at least partially tired players here. I think we go to Grant Taylor, try to get multiple innings out of him, and then Ryan Walker. Teal tries to pick off at first and does not succeed, but Taylor induces the pop-up, and Shrek steps in. Slow grounder to second. They go for the play at first. No chance for the double play. And Okamoto steps in. And that is playable for Antonacci for out number 3. So, Blue Jays stay at 2. Cease will come back out for the 7th. Strike 3 against Antonacci. So, Jace Young, Cease at 94 pitches. Pops up Young. And DeLauder works a walk. And that'll be it for Cease as Bowden Francis comes in to the game. Let's see if we can capitalize off of him with 2 outs in the inning. As Luis Robert Jr. hits that one well, but playable for Barger. Again, just a lot of balls deep into the outfield, but none of them falling for a hit here, as Taylor will face the bottom of the order here for the Blue Jays. Varsho gets hit. He is a threat to steal. And Taylor's hit 2 consecutive batters. What is going on? All right. He is wild and tired, and I think it's time to go to someone else. But who to go with here? I guess Fouch. Fouch will be the guy. And he allows a base hit through the middle. That could be another run scored for the Blue Jays, and it is. Fouch facing Vlad Jr. And no play at third, so that is the second out of the inning, and Fouch will face Barger here. And he pops him up for out number 3. Seta again coming in to try for the 6-out save. We need some offense, and we need it badly. Shanuel has been a good hitter in the series. I don't want to pinch hit for him. I really don't want to pinch hit for anybody. But he does have an 0 for 4 day today. Montgomery is 0 for 3 today, but again, good numbers in the series. At least good average in the series. His OPS is a little weak, but man. I don't think Celestin is necessarily the play here. I think we stick with Montgomery. 3-1 pitch, hit high, but playable for Varsho. Marte hits that into left field for a base hit. So once again, a hit with 2 outs here. Kyle Teal at the plate. He is 2 for 2 today. and he strikes out. So, yeah, just we've been getting hits. We have 6 hits in the game, but just no offense when it counts, I guess. Fouch walks Kirk to lead off the inning. Shrek strikes him out. Okamoto strikes him out. And Luke's up to bat. We will put in a lefty to face him, and it will be Eric Miller. As that's hit into center field, but playable for Luis Robert Jr. Okay, so we're down to our final 3 outs here, and Uceta on the mound, Luis Robert Jr. at the plate. And he finds center field for a base hit, so leadoff man is on. Antonacci's 0 for 3 today. We will let him hit. And he strikes out. Young is 0 for 3 today. We will let him hit. DeLauder is 1 for 2. No chance he's coming out, though. And he pops up. So that'll be the game. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue I could have pinch hits there, but yeah, just the offense didn't do enough to win here. It's not like the offense was bad. We had the same amount of hits that they did, but yeah, the offense just wasn't sequenced well enough. All of our hits, I think, almost all of our hits came with 2 outs, and just weren't able to capitalize because of that. Dollander pitched a fine game, faced 22 batters, only allowed 2 earned runs. Cease was excellent, though, 6 2/3, no earned runs, 5 hits, 4 walks. Uceta came in and shut things down. Yeah, and we are now down 3-2 in the series, and we need to win both of the next 2 games to advance. So we are in elimination territory here as we head into Game 6. All right, down to our last game. Elimination time for us here as we are down in the series 3-2. Making 2 perhaps controversial decisions here, but I think they both make sense. One is in an attempt to get something going offensively. I've changed our left-handed lineup so that Lantigua is DHing in place of Jace Young, and Aiden Smith is playing right. We definitely, he has not done much offensively in this series, but throughout the year has been good against lefties, so hopefully we'll get some kind of spark from him. The lineup has also been shaken up a bit based on who has actually performed against lefties in the playoffs so far, so I'm not going to go down that. But you can see it for yourself. Marte has really struggled against lefties and righties in this playoff so far, although he does have a hit in each of the last 2 games. The other controversial decision in an elimination game, we want our best pitcher out there, and that is Christopher Sanchez, pitching on 4 days rest after a 102 pitch performance in game 4, I believe. So he will be back out there. He's slightly tired, so he won't be able to give us a full, 6 or 7 innings probably, but if we can get 5 out of him, I will definitely take that. And I think he represents our best chance to win this game, especially when they've got Mackenzie Gore on the mound against us, who has been their best pitcher throughout the year. We did lose the last game against him where he only gave up 2 earned runs. So let's see what we can do here. It is elimination time, game number 6 here in Chicago. And Sanchez will face Jimenez to start things off. And that's a fly ball to left field, and that is out number 1. Shrek hits that right to Antonacci for out number 2. Vlad Jr. does find the outfield with that, so that's a base hit. Okamoto finds the outfield for another base hit, so 2 outs and 2 on here for the Blue Jays, as Barger will bat next. He will strike out to end the inning. So DeLauder steps in to face Gore. As DeLauder hits that into right field for a base hit, that could be extra bases depending. No, they will just hold him at first. So DeLauder on with a leadoff single, and Amador steps up to the plate. That is hit to the deep part of the outfield. They throw across to get Amador at first. DeLauder moves to second. So Shanuel bats with a man at second and 1 out. And that is hit right to the second baseman, Jimenez, for out number 2. Luis Robert Jr. also finds the second baseman, Jimenez, and that is the inning. But we'll see how things go as Kirk faces Sanchez. And that is Amador throwing over to first for out number 1. Lukes grounds it over to the first base side, and Sanchez, covering first, retires him for out number 2. Down the line, and that is again a Sanchez covering first for out number 3. Fortes, strike 3. Antonacci strikes out. Lentigua strike 3, so strikes out the side for Mackenzie Gore, and Sanchez steps back out to start the 3rd. Jojo Parker hits one right in front of the plate, and Sanchez throws over to first for out number 1. Jimenez strikes out, and Shrek hits one to Antonacci, and kind of crazy camera angle, but that is the inning. As Marte will step in to face Gore here, and he will walk to lead off the inning. Aiden Smith, let's see if he can get things going. Little dribbler over to the shortstop, and that is that does move Marte over to second, so basically a swinging bunt, as DeLauder does find right field for a base hit, but the runner holds up, not knowing if it will drop or not. So first and third, 1 out for Amador facing Gore, and he walks, so the bases are now loaded for Nolan Shanuel. Our best opportunity to score so far in this game, and Shanuel strikes out as Luis Robert Jr. will try to capitalize here. He works a full count, runners go, and that's ball 4. He walks in a run, as that gives us a 1-0 lead, and Fortes will come up to bat. And he strikes out at what was likely ball 4. So the inning is over, but we do score one at least, and we are up 1-0 with Sanchez facing Guerrero. Striking him out. Sanchez facing Okamoto. Okamoto hits that well into center field, where it does drop in for a base hit. And Barger. Down the line, step on first for one, and throw over to second, and tag for the double play. Double play the hard way as we get out of the inning with no runs scored. Antonacci hits that one to deep left field, but playable for Lukes. Lantigua hits that one to very deep left field, and that will find the seats. Nice job by Lantigua, who has not done much offensively in this series, but that home run is big. We needed that extra run. As Marte pops up. And Aiden Smith with his next chance to get something going here. And he strikes out on a full count. So it's 2-0 off of the Lantigua home run, and Christopher Sanchez back out to face Kirk in the fifth. And that's a grounder over to Amador for out number one. Lukes over to Antonacci for out number two. And Varsho tries to hold up but does not. That's strike three. So 1-2-3 inning as Gore at 89 pitches facing DeLauder. And DeLauder flies out to center field. Amador strikes out. And Nolan Shanuel hits that well, but right to Jimenez, as that is out number three. Sanchez dealing here only at 51 pitches here in the sixth. He will start the inning. He will strike out Parker. Back to the top of the order here. Jimenez puts that one in play, but that is playable for Antonacci. Cotton candy. Sanchez will face Shrek. Starting to get tired here at 58 pitches. With a 2-run lead, I'm going to let him go until he gets a base runner. Sir Anthony Dominguez, or until he reaches red tiredness. Ball four for Luis Robert Jr. So leadoff man is on with Fortes at the plate. And Fortes is 0 for 2. I think this might be a good time here to pinch hit for Kyle Teal. Against the righty. Oh, and Kyle Teal grounds over to first for one, but manages to leg out a fielder's choice to avoid the double play here. Antonacci hits one through for a base hit. So Lantigua with the home run his last time up. Let's see what he can do here. He will strike out. Marte strikes out as well to end the inning. And Sanchez staying in the game, 62 pitches to face Vlad Jr. Striking him out. Okamoto works a walk. And I think that will do it for Sanchez, but 6 1/3 excellent innings from him. 3 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk. And we will go to in the 7th here. Jose Ferrer. With a bunch of lefties minus Kirk. Granted, Kirk is dangerous, but strike 3. But Ferrer does get Kirk to ground out to end the inning, so that is still a 2-0 lead for us. And Aiden Smith will step in to face Dominguez. Yeah, that's fine. We'll let Smith bat for himself. He will strike out. No offense whatsoever for Smith in this game. Was hoping he would maybe provide a spark for us, but that is not the case. Amador down the line. That's a fair ball. So we maybe look to add more insurance runs as Amador in scoring position now with Shanuel at the plate. Emmett Sheehan comes in to pitch. And he finds center field for a base hit. That may score a run as Amador does come home, and that is an RBI single for Shanuel. We are now up 3-0. As Shanuel steals second. And Luis Robert Jr. strikes out, but that is another run for us. We are now up 3-0 as Ferrer will face Lukes, Varsho, and Parker here. Ground ball to Amador, who throws over to first for out number 1. Varsho hits that one high, but not particularly deep, and Smith pulls that down. Jojo Parker hits that into left field for out number 3. So Kyle Teal, Antonacci, and Lantigua will bat facing Sheehan. That is out number 1. Grounder to first base, and he's safe. Antonacci with the infield hit. So Lantigua will bat with 1 out here. And he hits that one to third. They throw to second for 1, throw to first, and that is an inning-ending double play. So, Ferrer still at 16 pitches. I think we will let him start the inning here. See if he can close things out. Strike 3. Shrek strikes out. So fans on their feet as Vlad Jr. stands in and strikes out. Ferrer strikes out the side, and that is your ball game. Shared shutout for the team as we win that one 3-0 to force a deciding game 7. The move to bring in Sanchez paid off beautifully, and we didn't have to use our bullpen really outside of Ferrer. Christopher Sanchez is your player of the game. We had enough offense to get things done. A good, solid win. I agree with that Chicago manager, Tiro Fogg. That's a good, solid win. I don't think there's much else to say. We got to Gore just enough. Dominguez, we added on an insurance run, and then, bullpen shut things down. Ferrer did not allow a hit, struck out 4. Sanchez with an 0.68 ERA in the playoffs. He has been the MVP of the second half of the season for me. Like, with what he's done so far, in the since trading for him and in the playoffs, like that's outstanding. He went from a guy who was, bolstering our rotation to try and give us that extra edge to, I think, our ace. I mean, just given how he's performed in this stretch of the season. And we do have a team option for him next year, and that will be picked up. I will find a way to afford him. But yeah, that's game 6, and we will head to a deciding game 7 here in Chicago. All right, it is time for game 7. This will be for all the marbles. Yeah, we are going with our left-handed lineup here against Robbie Snelling. Not too much difference in their lineup here. Ryan Johnson will get the start for us tonight. He was good, but not spectacular in his last start out, so let's see what he can do tonight. We do also have, in a game 7, it is elimination. We are leaving nothing behind. We have Chase Dolander and Noah Schultz available out of the bullpen if necessary. So we'll see. Grant Taylor is well rested. Ryan Walker is well rested. So, but I will not be afraid to, if Johnson struggles early, maybe go to one of those guys to try and bridge the gap here as we, have to win this. This is game 7, and let's go. Ryan Johnson steps in. He's been steady throughout the entire regular season and does get Jimenez out for out number 1. Parker up the middle, slow dribbler but playable for Amador for out number 2. And Vlad Jr. strikes out for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down, and we will face Snelling here. Did rearrange the lineup slightly again. Luis Robert Jr. now leading off with a high on-base percentage so far in the playoffs, but he does not make it on base for out number 1. Chase Delader, definitely our MVP, at least for position players so far this season, works a walk. Lantigua with a big home run in game 6. Let's see if he can match that in game 7, and he can. Lantigua with the 2-run homer, and it is 2-0, as if on cue. And we take a 2-0 lead. That's what you like to see. Get to their starter early. Fortes strikes out, but we strike first as it's now 2-0 White Sox here in the second. Barger hits one down the line, but looks like that's playable for Delader. As Kirk strikes out. As Shrek hits one through for a base hit. That's their first hit of the game. Okamoto. Runner goes, but that is out number 3. So, we head to the bottom of the second, still up 2-0. And we strike out with Antonacci. Shanuel strikes out as well. Marte. Ball for Jace Young back in the lineup here against lefties. Batting 9th, but finding center field for a base hit. So let's see if he can continue to get hits when it matters here in this elimination game. They try to go for Marte at third. They do not get him. That allows Young to advance to second. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Luis Robert Jr. We will take a walk. We will take a walk. Bases are loaded now for Chase DeLauder. Let's see if he can break this game wide open. As there's a grounder to Jimenez, and that'll be out number 3. But we are still up 2-0. Ryan Johnson takes the mound to face Lukes. And that is a little flare that finds right field for a base hit. And Varsho pops up. Johnson gets out of the way as Antonacci comes in and makes the catch for out number 1. Jimenez, runner goes. That's down the line, and they will eat it. So that's an infield hit for Jimenez. First and second, and 1 out for JoJo Parker now. And that is into right field for a base hit. Let's see if they'll test the arm of Marte. They will not. So runner holds, bases loaded, and 1 out for Vlad Jr. As he walks. So we walk home a run, as that is now 2-1. Ryan Johnson facing Barger. He hits one into left field for a base hit. That will be at least 1 run scoring. They do hold at third. Johnson now potentially in trouble here, facing Kirk. I don't know if this does anything, but we're doing it anyway. I think I said before, this is my ritual of, like, you know, back in the days of Pokemon, he'd hold down B to try and increase the chances of catching one. Well, that's the equivalent of the bound visit in OOTP, as we do induce the fly out, but that does allow tag and score. So the Blue Jays take the lead. It's 3-2 now, as Shrek hits one to right field, but that's playable for Antigua. And 3 runs on 4 hits, so we are now down 3-2. Let's see if Lantigua can come through again. And he strikes out. Amador hits one into right field for a base hit. So we have a man on and 1 out here with Fortes at the plate. The ball skips away from the catcher, but he keeps it in front of him. Fortes muscles that one into center field for a base hit. So 2 on and 1 out now for Antonacci. Strikes out. So Nolan Shanuel with a chance to break this game open. Hits one down the first baseline, and the ball is bobbled. Guerrero drops it. The error extends the inning, and Marte will bat with the bases loaded. That is to the third baseman, and who throws to second for out number 3. So we do get out of that jam. Or they get out of that jam, rather. Okamoto to Johnson. Out number 1. Lukes. To Shanuel for out number 2. Varsho pops up. That is out number 3. Jace Young is 1 for 1 today. Let's see if he can make it 2 for 2. And that's hit well into right field, but right at Barger. Luis Robert Jr. hits that one deep to left field, but playable for Lukes. And DeLauder, now with 2 outs, strikes out. So that's a 1-2-3 inning. Ryan Johnson will come back out for the 5th. We are back up to the top of the order here. And that is hit right to Luis Robert Jr. for out number 1. Parker. That hangs up enough for Luis Robert Jr. again, out number 2. Vlad Jr. hits that one over the head of Luis Robert Jr. for extra bases. I think that might do it for Johnson here, as we try to keep this a 1-run ball game. We are in the 5th. I think we will go with Schultz has not been particularly good in the playoffs. We will go with Chase Dolander here to try to bridge the gap with a man on. As Dolander allows a hit to center field, but that is up enough where Robert Jr. pulls it down. So Antigua with 1 big home run today. Let's see if he can make it 2. And he pops it up. Snelling still in the game for the Blue Jays at 97 pitches. As Amador hits that one to left field, but playable for Lukes. And that is the day for Snelling, and Sheehan will come in to face Nick Fortes, who is 1 for 2 today. Yeah, we'll let him hit. And he grounds out to end the inning. So that is the inning. Dolander will come back out for the 6th to face Kirk, Schreck, and Okamoto. And Kirk hits that one into right field for a base hit. Schreck hits that one into right center field for a base hit. So Dolander getting into a little bit of trouble here, as Okamoto strikes out. Okay. And now with the string of lefties up, I think we go back to the pen here. We empty it out. Brendan Little will get the call here. That is out number 2. Brendan Little may have been hurt, and we have to take him out of the ball game. Okay, that's great. Back spasms for one day. We'll go to our man Jose Ferrer. As Varsho works a 4-pitch walk. So Jimenez now with the bases loaded. Ball skips away, but nice job by Fortes preventing that from doing any damage, and we will also prevent any more runs from scoring here. So still a 3-2 game. Sheehan will face Antonacci, Shanuel, and maybe Marte. Perhaps we pinch hit for him there. As Antonacci hits one into right center field, we will let him run for himself as Shanuel strikes out. Marte, I think we will pinch hit Marte. Yeah, in the playoffs so far, Teal has been the go-to guy. And so he will get the call here for Marte. We need runs. As Teal hits one that could be a double play as they throw to second for one, throw to first for two. Man, that is the side retired. We will keep Teal in to play catcher, and Montgomery will come into play third. As Ferrer will face Parker here, and then we'll go to someone else in the bullpen. Strikeout, okay. And now we will go to probably either Iglesias or Taylor. Who's been better in the postseason so far? Iglesias has. So he will get the call here as we try to keep this a one-run game. And throw to first. Guerrero is out. Addison Barger hits that into left field, but that is DeLauder for out number 3. And Jace Young will bat against Sheehan here. And he pops up. Luis Robert Jr. It's that up the middle, but playable for Parker. And Chase DeLauder will come up to bat. He hits that one deep to left field, and he does it again. That's home run number 6 for the playoffs, Chase DeLauder. And we are tied at 3. Lantigua already with the home run in this game. Let's see if we can go back-to-back jacks here. Lantigua works a walk. We will absolutely take that. As Amador now with the go-ahead run at first base. 2 outs. Hits that one into right field, but playable for Barger. So we tie things up, and it's a 3-3 game. Kirk works a leadoff walk. So Shrek will face Iglesias here. And he will pop up. Iglesias will face, well, they bring in Gavin Lux to pinch hit. Okay, so now with a slew of lefties up, who do we go to next? Do we go to Ryan Walker? Do we go to Noah Schultz? For the lefty-lefty matchup? Or do we go to Eric Miller, who has been good in the playoffs so far? Let's go to Eric Miller. Who grounds that one to the second baseman, Antonacci. Kirk takes second. And Luke's That one into center field. Can Robert get to it? Yes, he can. Okay, so this game remains tied 3-3 as Uceta comes in. They are trying to have him work 2 innings again. Montgomery with his first at-bat of the game, facing the righty Uceta. Strike 3. Antonacci hits that one up the middle, but playable for Parker and Shanuel. That one is playable for Jimenez. So we head to the 9th, and it's still 3-3. Miller will stay in for now. Striking out Varsho. Jimenez gets hit. That's the risk of having a reliever with not great control in there, but he does induce the ground out for out number 2. And now we will go to the closer, Ryan Walker, to face Vlad Jr. As he hits a little grounder to Amador for out number 3. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Any run will win the game. Kyle Teal up to bat. Who will be the hero here today? As Lukes catches that one for out number 1. Jace Young down the first base line, but playable for Guerrero. Luis Robert Jr. I don't love our pinch hitting options, so we will stick with him here. And he will strike out. So we head to the 10th. Another extra inning game. This one will decide the series. Barger hits one over to first. Walker covers, and that is out number 1. Kirk hits that one high, but playable for Montgomery. And RJ Schreck pops up as well. And that is out number 3. So still 3-3. Uceta still in the game. Chase DeLauder had a home run earlier to tie it. Will he be the hero here? No, he will strike out. Uceta is starting to get tired. Lantigua hits that one high, but not deep enough, as that is to Barger for out number 2. Amador, not known for his power, and he pops up to end the inning. So Lux grabs that for the 3rd out, and we head to the 11th as Walker will face Lux, Lukes, and Varsho. He probably will not face all of those guys. He will strike out Lux. And a pop-up for Lukes. And he will face Varsho, as Varsho pops up as well. Antonacci. We head to the bottom of the 11th. Landon Ropp in to pitch now for the Blue Jays. Montgomery takes a called strike 3. Antonacci muscles that one into the gap. If it is not gone, it's at least extra bases. So Antonacci at second now, the winning run with one out. And Nolan Shanuel at the plate. He's 0 for 4. We're not pinch hitting for him, though. Hits that one high and deep. Barger tracks it down. So we are at 2 outs now, and Kyle Teal at the plate. And he walks. They had first base open. Jace Young is 1 for 4 today. He struggled in the series. Can he be the hero? He hits that one high, but not deep, and Barger grabs it. So still 3-3 as we head to the 12th. Ryan Walker will come out, and who will come in? Okay, in a crucial situation with a bunch of lefties up, and Vlad Jr. We do still have Grant Taylor available. Okay, that's the smart play. I was about to put in Noah Schultz. Let's do Grant Taylor. He is our excellent shutdown stopper. He struggled a little bit in the playoffs, but still want him in here as Jimenez works a leadoff walk. Parker goes to bunt, but misses it. He will be swinging away here with 2 strikes, and he will strike out. So Grant Taylor will face Vlad Jr. here with 1 on and 1 out, as Vlad hits that one into center field over the head of Robert Jr., and it goes over the wall for a ground rule double. Now the question is, do you walk Barger here to set up the double play and face Kirk? I think he pitched to Barger here. He's 1 for 4 today. Kirk is 1 for 3 today with a walk, and he's the more dangerous hitter. You go for the strikeout, and you strike him out. Taylor now facing Kirk with 2 on and 2 outs. And he hits that one deep and gone. First base was open. We maybe should have walked him there. With Shrek up, who is 2 for 5 today. But man, that's deflating. Yeah, not much else to say. We're down to our last 3 outs, and we need a miracle here to keep things going in the 12th. But we've got the top of our order up. Reese Robert Jr. strikes out. DeLauder strikes out. Lantigua is our last hope here. And he strikes out. So Rob strikes out the side, and that is the ball game. Man, what a disappointing way to end Game 7 after, after the extra inning affair. Grant Taylor blows the game with a home run to Alejandro Kirk. I was just mentioning how dangerous of a hitter he was. First base was open. I mean, in hindsight, I think you walk him there and let Shrek be the one to beat you. But, man, what a brutal way to lose that one. I mean, Taylor was doing well. The whole bullpen did well, honestly. Yeah, that's a rough way to go out. Man, not much else to say. right, so we have made it to the off season here, and yeah, we did miss out on the Chicago World Series. The Cubs beat the Blue Jays 4-2. Um, yeah, this would have been a fun team to face. I think Maverick Rizzi, what a name there. I wonder if he's a real player. Maverick Rizzi, um, the most Gen Z name of all time. Uh, yeah, and this was yeah, still disappointing loss, especially knowing that we didn't get a chance to have the All Chicago World Series. You know that I I don't know. What do you think in the comments? Do you think I should have walked Kirk there with first base open, or pitched to him there? I mean, that was the ultimately the game deciding move, and it did not work out in our favor. We have some option year decisions. I already picked up the option on both Rysel Iglesias. That was only a $3.8 million option. He's going into his age 40 season, but he was excellent for us. We want him back another year. And Christopher Sanchez, that was a $16 million option, but again, we want him back. That is absolutely worth it if he pitches anywhere close to where he did last season. The problem with that is our budget. We are already over budget for 2030, so we'll have to make some hard decisions here in the off season to try and stay under budget. I do like try to keep this realistic. Like, I go by this number here and try to keep this under, like, I mean, most big league teams would not really allow you to lose money, I feel like. Maybe we could go slightly under if we are making a big playoff push, which we did this last season, but more likely than not, we'll have to cut some salary somewhere. And the biggest place I can see to cut some salary is Marte, who had a decent season but a little bit underwhelming, considering that he's due to make 16.5 million in arbitration. I mean, yeah, I think that money can be better spent elsewhere. Montgomery I will want to pick up. DeLauder I'll want to pick up. We've also got question marks of guys in arbitration like Amador and DeLauder. Like, do we try to extend those guys? Or even Montgomery, who has quietly had a very solid season. The last 3 years were at or close to 3. So he could be a guy that we look to extend. Antonacci in his first year of arbitration. Jace Young, we'd ideally like to bring back as well with 3.7 WAR on the season. I don't know how that adds up to 3.7. That looks like 3.1, but I'll accept that, I guess. Wizarowski, 7 million is a little expensive for a reliever, but for what he does for us, putting up 2.2 WAR this season across 76 innings pitched, I think that's fair. And then we've got guys like Eric Miller and Brandon Little who we'd like to bring back. And then Schultz and Johnson, who are both arbitration eligible. So I don't know. I think the easy cut here is Marte. We're also losing Farrer to free agency. He wants way too much money to stay. So we will be losing him. We'll have to figure out our backup catcher situation again. As Fortes actually wants a decent deal. He may come back. Or we may look to plug in someone from our minor league system, as we have a ton of minor league free agents as well. Yeah, but that'll be for the off-season episode, as we come just short of the World Series. That'll happen sometimes. I mean, that's just the way things go in baseball, and we came about as close as you could possibly come to the World Series without actually making it there. So we are still making progress, both in team record and in how far we're making it in the playoffs. We lost in, I believe, the division series last year after beating the Blue Jays in the wild card, and this year we made it all the way to Game 7 of the ALCS. So, still good to keep that in mind. I mean, I think most White Sox fans would take that. You know, it's a bit heartbreaking being that close to the World Series and not coming through, but still a good season overall. Yeah, so we gotta do what we can to make it back next year, and that means trying to re-sign a lot of these guys. We've still got Liam Peterson developing. We've got a lot of good prospects too, like Max Bayless, still on the cusp of being big league ready. He is 25 now, just turned 25, but he could continue to develop here. Eric Becker getting close to 25, but he's kind of on the cusp too. We've got our first round pick Jay Bastian, who only played in 17 games after getting hurt, but he still looks potentially promising. Ben Hollenbach could be good. So we've got a lot of depth in our minor league system, a lot of guys that are still coming up to kind of bolster this team, even if we lose Marte, which I will be looking to trade him for something. We'll see what we can get for him, but that will do it for this episode. A bit disappointing, I guess. Can go over the season recap very briefly. Christopher Sanchez obviously was our ace. After trading for him, he was amazing. What did we even give up for him? We gave up Blake Larson, who was doing okay for the Phillies. I mean, he was close to big league ready. And Dante Nori, who was also okay for the Phillies. I think we'd make that trade 10 out of 10 times. He was everything we could have asked for, especially in the playoffs. A sub-1 ERA in the playoffs. I mean, that's just outstanding. He did everything he possibly could to get us there. Ryan Johnson, with an excellent year, after initially starting the year in the pen, came in and was a very solid starter for us. Chase Dollander had a good year, rewarding our extension of him. Liam Peterson continuing to develop, having a 2-WAR season, under 4 ERA. Very nice. We hope that he continues to develop. Noah Schultz, initially disappointing season, but bounced back near the end. Was a little rocky in the playoffs, but still a very solid starter for us. Shane Smith, I'm not sure what to think. He is looking maybe more like 2028 was an outlier for him, and this is just kind of who he is. We have him signed for another few years, for sure another 2. So that's a little disappointing. We maybe could have looked to move on from him, but maybe he's someone we look to trade if we can move his contract to try and free up some more money here. Grant Taylor and Mizorowski, of course, are excellent stoppers for us, both putting up 2 WAR on the season. Ryan Walker, great closer. I did sign him to an extension during the season for just $2.8 million next year, with the team option for the year after that. So he will be coming back to close for us as well. Brendan Little. Fouch was our Rule 5 pick. We may try to sneak him through waivers, maybe. He made the All-Star game this year. I mean, that's pretty solid for a Rule 5 pick. And he's only 25. You know, he could continue to develop. 25 stamina means he will likely never be a starter, but he's got good long reliever potential. And then Iglesias, Miller, Adrian Herrera is kind of one of those guys that could be a sixth starter for us. We picked him up in the trade for Cincinnati, where we flipped Josh Naylor over to them, who went on to not do much throughout the season. I don't really mind that trade. That was early in the year. It seems like so long ago. I guess in real life it was like at least a week or two ago. So, and then our lineups, Chase DeLauder, obviously the MVP of our team this season, should get some actual down ballot MVP votes. Probably not the winner, as we did have, Gunnar Henderson with 7 WAR, Riley Green, Cal Raleigh, Kyle Tucker had a good season. Yankel Fernandez, an interesting name for the Twins, putting up 4 WAR this season with 121 RBI and 38 home runs. Yeah, but he should get some down ballot MVP votes, I would imagine, with a 5 WAR season, almost 6 WAR season, 5.6. Kyle Teal with his best season. Hopefully he continues that going forward. Colson Montgomery, we already talked about, very solid results for him. Jace Young, Amador, Shanuel, Antonacci, Luis Robert Jr. we have under contract for the next few seasons. Hopefully he does not regress. We'll take a 2, almost 3 WAR season from him any day. Aiden Smith, will he become our everyday right fielder in place of Marte, who we are looking to move? Lantigua was a Rule 5 pick who played the entire season for us and came through with some very clutch hits in the playoffs. Hit 14 home runs despite somewhat limited playing time. Could he be our right fielder of the future? He's only 23 years old. Celestin still continuing to develop. Edgar Caro is here. Billy Carlson. What happens to him in the future? He's still only 23 years old. Trying him out at center field to kind of, give him some options in terms of playing time. But yeah, the bat is still not really there for him, unfortunately. We'll see if maybe he can get a good dev lab to bring that up a bit. But yeah, that's basically the season. Not too much else to say. Oh, we did lose our scouting director too, so I will need to hire a new one of those. And yeah, I'll have to fix our budget. We've got some interesting decisions to make in the off season. Parker Messick is another guy that struggled early on and then spent some time at AAA. We're paying him a good amount. Maybe we look to trade him. Shane Smith, Luis Lara still hanging out, but still getting paid the minimum after having 2 solid seasons with us. We'll have to see what we decide to do in the off season here. So thanks for watching. Sorry that if you were rooting for the White Sox to go far, that it ended in such a dramatically bad fashion, but that's just the way baseball goes sometimes. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Thanks.